A lot of the time, students only focus on the 1%, and I did this so much throughout my entire jazz piano journey. The 1%, that McCoy lick, that Herbie voicing, these things will only get you 1% of the way to learning jazz piano and playing the way you want. So why not learn the thing that's gonna get you 90% of the way there and then go back and learn those extra spices and flavors? In this particular podcast lesson, I'm gonna be showing you the 90% that's gonna help you with solo piano, improv, and accompaniment in so many different situations. And I promise you, if you learn this thing like the back of your hand, you'll be 1,000% better than you've ever been. My name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of Jazz Piano School. Don't forget to go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all the other amazing free education we have. And there is a membership and many courses available if you're looking to take that next step. With that being said, let's dive right in.
All right, so I'm going to start by teaching you the two rootless voicing structures, and then I'm going to go over the 3 reasons that you absolutely have to learn these voicings. So if we take a D minor 7, I'm going to take a 2-5-1 on the key of C. Here's a G7, here's a C major 7. Now these are root position voicings. They don't really sound that great when we use them to jazz. Usually beginners, these are the first things that you learn to play a melody with. Right? So all the harmonies are down here in your left hand. We don't have any colors, we don't have any extensions. With your rootless voicings, your 2 structures, we start to get into some colors and different types of inversions of your chord without the root in them. That's why they're called rootless voicings. You hear the difference here? So this is a D minor 7 with a 9 on it. Instead of this, now I have this. It already sounds like we're playing jazz, right? And these are not basic voicings. These are cream of the crop. I use these all the time. You'll hear professionals use these as well all the time. I mean, these are professional jazz piano voicings played on albums that you might listen to, right? So this is going to be the first one. When I say 3, 5, 7, 9, I'm referring to the numbers within the chord. So the root down here is the 1. This F is going to be the 3rd. The A is going to be the 5th. The C is going to be the 7th. And then we have the 9th on top. Okay? So that's going to be the first voicing. Now this doesn't jump around. It's going to voice lead to the next voicing. 7, 9, 3, 13. So we have a 9 and a 13. Those are going to be extensions to our G7 chord, our G7 dominant chord. Again, here's the G7 dominant chord, the basic one. So we have the 7th of the chord in there, the 9, the 3, the 13. Now, the last one, C major 7, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, so 3, 5, 7, 9. These are really good numbers for you to remember and practice. 7, 9, 3, 13, and 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, even if you don't know what I'm talking about, right? Even if you don't know what extensions are, even if you don't know what 7th chords are, if you literally just copy this mathematical equation or like look at the chords and work them through different keys and learn these in all keys, you will be, I promise you, you will be 99% ahead of most jazz piano students. I'll say that again. If all you do in jazz is learn this structure and the next one I'm about to show you, you will be ahead of 99% of most jazz piano students. I promise you. I promise you. And you'll be able to do so many things. So let's go through this again one more time, then I'll show you structure 2. 3, 5, 7, 9. And notice in my right hand 3rd finger just moves down by a half step. All the other notes stay. It just moves down by 1 note. I don't even change the notes. And then a couple notes change there for my C major 7. Now, if I want to place this in another key, it's very, very easy. Remember the numbers I told you. We remember the numbers so that we can transpose into another key. So we're going to take the notes from the F major scale now if we're in the key of F. So we do have a B flat, right? So if I play a G minor 7 chord, this is going to be the 2 chord in the key of F, and then I'm going to go to the 5 chord, and then I'm going to go to the 1. So remember the numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9. I'm going to take 3, 5, 7, 9 for my G minor 7 for the minor 7 chord. Now again, I'm going to go to my dominant chord, 7, 9, 3, 13, and then 3, 5, 7, 9. So I've just kind of practiced 2 2-5-1s in the key of C and the key of F. Let's go to the other structure. Now, the other structure is just an inversion of this. It's an inversion, meaning it's the same exact notes, just inverted. They're in different orders. Right now, we have the 3rd and the 7th in the middle. Now, by the way, if I take out the 2 color tones, look at what we have here. We just have shells. Why do teachers want you to learn shells? For this exact reason, because they make up 50% of your rootless voicings and 50% for the most part of all the chords you're going to play. That's why they're so important, right? So shells, shells, shells. Now I'll put in the extensions, 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 right? So 50% of the rootless voicings is just shells. So if you learn your shells, you're halfway there. Here's the inversion. Instead of 3 on the bottom, we're going to put 7 on the bottom now. The 3rd is in the middle, and now I'm going to add the exact same extensions, the 9 and the 5, right? So instead of 3, 5, 7, 9, now we have 7, 9, 3, 5. Now, can you play any of the inversions? Yes, you can, but it typically sounds a little bit better to begin with when you have a shell note on the bottom of your chord. This is because it's going to relate to the bass note a little bit better. These shell notes harmonically interact with their bass note a little bit better than something else might, like a 9 on the bottom, right? So this is just due to the overtone series and the way harmony works, okay? So just trust me on this. 7, 9, 3, 5. We're going to now move our thumb down by a half step. Now I have 3, 13, 7, 9, okay? 7, 9, 3, 5, right? Then I can do that in the key of F. Okay, so you can go back and watch that a little bit more. I want to get into essentially why these are so important, okay? Because a lot of you are probably like, why do I need to learn these chords? Like 90% of my students, they've come to me in my accelerator programs, my live programs, and they said, yeah, I've tried to learn these rootless voicings. All my teachers have told me to learn the rootless voicings. I even went through this in my journey. My teachers would tell me to learn the rootless voicings. I was like, why? Why do I have to learn all these voicings? I don't want to learn all these voicings. How does this help me play jazz? Why do I need to learn this? This is the 80-20 rule. If you learn your rootless voicings, I promise you, this is 20, it'll get you 80% of the way there. Doing this work and doing it deep. A lot of the students that have come to me, I asked them to play a rootless voicing. Hey, can you play the rootless voicing 251 in the key B flat? They're like, I think so. And then they go to play it and it's wrong, right? You need to know these like the back of your hand where you can say, yes, I can play that. Cool. Can you play that in the key of B? Sure. Can you do that in the key of E? Right? Sure. That's where it needs to be at. Like no thought process. Yes. No hesitation. Absolutely none. Okay? That's the level these have to get at. Now you can work yourself through the keys. Another question that students ask is, why do I work through the circle of force? We work through the circle of force because that's usually how jazz progressions are found in real book tunes. Ding, 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 right? So when we practice in the circle of force, we're going to be setting ourselves up for success when we go to play tunes because most progressions are moving in the circle of force, right? It's our harmonic structure. So we're already tackling the majority of the chord progressions that we're going to run into. Reason number 1 that you want to learn these, solo piano. They're so important to solo piano for a lot of different reasons. One of the great reasons we can use these in solo piano, if we experience any melodies in tunes where it's a 9, we have a 9 on the melody, I can easily voice my 9 on top with a rootless voicing. Right? So if we have some sort of melody that is the 9 or the 5 on top, right? So if I had a melody as a 5, and you're going to find this a lot in tunes. Let's say the melody was a 5. You can harmonize that melody super quick. Just with your rootless voicing, you're going to get an instant jazz sound out of that. And this also goes for, for both structures. So that's reason number 1. That's a great reason. So if you have a dominant chord 2, right? That's a 13. Let's say you have a melody that's a 13 on top. Boom. You can harmonize it with a rootless voicing instead of searching for notes, guessing at what to play. Play a rootless voicing. You have the melody on top, bass note on the bottom. Boom. You got everything you need. Okay? The other reason it's great in solo piano is because in solo piano, we need to comp for ourselves. This is something a lot of students don't do. This happens more in medium swing to fast swing, although it does happen in ballads as well. When there's space in ballads, a great example of this is the tune Just Friends. So if I play Just Friends, this melody is holding for a very long time right off the bat. So in order to comp for myself, we have to comp for ourselves when playing solo piano. When we're in a trio, we need to comp for the trio. When we're playing solo piano, we need to comp for ourselves. So I'm going to go just friends, and then there's lots of space here. What do? One of the easiest strategies you can do is utilize your rootless voicings rhythmically to comp for yourself in the space. This is going to add to your solo piano performance by multitudes. Like, just, it's going to expand it and make it so much better. Comp, 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 comp. So everything I'm comping right now in my right hand for the tune Just Friends is rootless voicings. Green Dolphin Street. You see my voicing right now? I'm comping in between the melody. Bass note, 3, 5, 7, 9. Rootless voicings. That's it. And I'm sorry to burst the bubble, but like that's what's happening in jazz. You know, it's so funny because students come to me, they think it's magic, they think it's secret, cool voicings, weird structures. They want to learn the Bill Evans voicings, weird McCoy stuff, weird Herbie stuff. That makes up 1% of jazz, unfortunately. So when you spend your time on the 1%, guess how far you're going to go? 1%. If you spend your time on the 90% of what's played in jazz, guess how far you're going to go? 90%, right? So rootless voicings are extremely important to solo piano, especially ballads too. If you're playing a ballad, My Foolish Heart, I'm going to comp a rootless voicing here. Comp. Now the melody's happening here, so I need to harmonize and play it, but I'm going to comp a rootless voicing here. Again, here's another great example where the melody is a 5, so what am I doing? I'm harmonizing the melody in My Foolish Heart with a rootless voicing, right? I'm going to comp rootless voicing, okay? So I can use these over all solo piano styles, these rootless voicings very, very easily. Without thinking, without guessing, and everything. My Alexa's going off. Alexa, stop. I hope you guys find that hilarious. I'm not going to edit that out because it's hilarious. I know you guys can all relate to the Alexa. Oh, shit, I just said it again. Going off, right? And something. Anyway, you can use these in solo piano really, really well. All right? And so that's awesome. Next, 2, comping or accompaniment. Listen, all you need if you're comping for someone is rootless voicings. That's all you need. Check it out. I'm going to do this so fast. It's so easy. Let's say I'm playing Have You Met Miss Jones? I'm just comping rootless voicings. If you want to accompany an instrumentalist, you want to play in a band, if those are your goals, you can literally just learn your rootless voicings and then put some rhythm to it and start to play music with other people. It is honestly that easy. Now, all I'm doing is rootless voicings and bass notes in my left hand. If I want to come up a little bit higher, I can add one note. I can add the 1 and 7 or 1 and 3 to my left hand. So on the bridge, maybe I come up here and add 1 and 7 to my left hand for a different type of sound, a different type of texture in the middle of the piano. 1 and 7 in my left hand, 1 and 3, 1 and 7, 1 and 7, 1 and 3, 1 and 7, 1 and 7, 1 and 3, 1 and 7. My right hand did not change. My right hand did not change from that other style. Okay? So you can start to use these in a various ways to comp and accompany people. Now I'm going to get into why they're so important in voicings, but I can actually use drop 2 arrangement styles of my rootless voicings to comp up here if I want. So this is all drop 2. It's a drop 2. I don't really want to get too deep into this, but that's a drop 2 style of what voicing? Say it with me now. My rootless voicings. So all of these voicings I'm playing are rootless voicings. Here's my rootless voicing for an F major 7. 3, 5, 7. No, sorry. 7, 9, 3, 5. Okay? 7, 9, 3, 5. That's a rootless voicing, right? Check it out. There's my rootless voicing. I'm going to create a drop 2 out of this by taking the second note from the top and dropping it down here into my left hand. Okay, I've practiced this a lot. It's not easy work. You got to practice it, but it gets you 90% of the way there. If every jazz piano student just learned the rootless voicings like the back of their hand, they would be light years ahead of where you probably are now in so many areas, you know? And I'm just speaking the truth here. Like I want to kind of emphasize this point. This is a D7 rootless voicing, G minor 7 rootless voicing, C7 rootless voicing, and all I'm doing is creating a drop 2 style arrangement out of these. And I'm playing all the rootless voicings without any alterations, just as they are, comping. You can use them in the high end as well. When you transfer them to your left hand, you can put an octave in your right hand. So now I'm playing an octave in my right hand. All my rootless voicings are in my left hand now, because my right hand's playing an octave to comp. You know that kind of high-end, cool texture, high-end jazz comping texture you hear on Piano Stew? I'm just creating melodies within the key in my right hand octaves, by the way. Just completely random within the key notes. My left hand's comping rootless voicings. Okay. We went over solo piano. We use our rootless voicings for solo piano to comp for ourselves and to harmonize. In a trio, if your goal is to play out in a band, we can use our rootless voicings to immediately start playing with a group by comping in any of the styles I just demonstrated. Low end with bass notes, mid to low here in the middle by adding 1 and 7 or 1 and 3 through our 2-5-1s here. My right hand has the rootless voicing. In the high end, my left hand now has the rootless voicing. Right? So the rootless voicing is transferred from my right hand to my left hand. And finally, one of the most coveted goals that jazz piano students have, improvisation. Right? Learning your rootless voicings will not only teach you where the 9s and 13s are, it'll teach you about the chord tones, the shells, extensions, and how harmonies move. Now, a lot of bebop language actually comes from improvising and arpeggiating what? Guess what? Rootless voicings. Rootless voicings. And moving in and around your rootless voicing. Right? So I might go... Right? So obviously there's more to improvisation, but they do help tremendously. Right? So if I were to downward arpeggiate a rootless voicing here, I could downward arpeggiate rootless voicing here, or upward arpeggiate, or again, that is like one of the most played bebop lines you'll ever hear. Guess what it is? A rootless voicing. Right? Okay, so improvisation, right, is one of the third reasons that you definitely have to use your rootless voicings. And there's 2 hierarchies to learning improv. Remember this, because one path is extremely hard, the other path is a little easier. The extremely hard path when learning improvisation is when you're playing solo piano. If I'm playing solo piano and I have to comp for myself with all my left hand while my right hand improvises, this is one of the most difficult things in jazz to do. Right, so on and so forth. So that is very difficult. The easier way to do it, if you want to go play in a band or you want to play with people, right? Or even just play with yourself, like with iRoll Pro, left hand can take the rootless voicings. So if your left hand takes the rootless voicings while you improvise, this is one of the most beneficial, most helpful things you can do for yourself to learn good voicings to comp and accompany your right hand. So sorry, I was really trying not to alter them, but again, like habits take over. 99% of the time, what I just comped in my left hand was all rootless voicings, right? Now, improv is like a whole different beast, right? There's a lot of language I was using in my right hand, okay? But I was using kind of some improvisation lines with rootless voicings in my right hand. So needless to say, improv, if you want to really kind of get better at improv, rootless voicings will also be helpful. Now, the last thing I want to teach you about with your rootless voicings is using them as a stepping stone to create more fancy voicings or more fancy sounds in your solo piano or your accompaniment. So what I can start to do, let's take a G minor 7. Right now, this is a basic rootless voicing, 3, 5, 7, 9. And I don't think people realize the power and the potential that rootless voicings have, because we can start to alter these and add things, take away things, and it can move into so many different ways in a very easy process, right? So let's say this is our rootless voicing here. We're going to a C7 here. Okay, right now I have 7, 9, 3, 13. I have a natural 9, natural 13. Let's say I want to change one of the extensions and I want to create a different type of sound, right? All of us want these cool fancy voicings. Let's put a flat 9 in here. So here's my natural 9. What do I have to do to create a flat 9? Well, flat the 9, right? Here's my 9. I'm just going to move it down by a half step. Do you hear how pretty this is? Again, these are not basic voicings. These are pro jazz piano voicings. Bill Evans, Oscar Peterson, Red Garland. Like, this is what they're playing on the albums. I really want to make that clear because there's no other secrets to this. Okay? There really is not. They might have 1, 5, 10 here, and then a rootless voicing with a flat 9. Do you guys hear that? Right? The other thing they might do here is add in a note. So let's go back to our 7, 9, 3, 13, our standard C7 rootless voicing. My fourth finger is right over the sharp 11, so I could probably add that in to create a 5-note voicing. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Right, so my 2, 5, 1 would go G minor 7. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Check that out, right? So I'm playing 1 and 10. I don't have to play the 10, but it adds to the sound. And if I add 1, 5, 10, that's also going to thicken it up, but I can just play bass notes too. That sounds just as good. Back into my F major 7. So we can do this for all of the rootless voicings. Like if I take my C minor 7 rootless voicing, right? 7, 9, 3, 5. This is my standard C minor 7 rootless voicing. I can add the 11 in here. How gorgeous is that? Right? That's a gorgeous voicing. Then I can go to my F7. Let's change the F7 voicing. 3, 13, 7, 9, my standard F7 rootless voicing. Call some extensions out, right? I know you're listening, but let's say someone just like, hey, flat the 13, sharp the 9. Cool. Flat the 13, sharp the 9. Now we got an altered voicing. So we had the C minor 11, beautiful pro jazz voicing, to an altered voicing. Let's go to our B flat major 7 and add the sharp 11. So check out the new progression you just made, all stemming from our rootless voicings. C minor 7 with an 11, F7 altered to a B flat major 9 sharp 11. How gorgeous is that? Okay? Now that's what I wanted to show you about the alterations, and what we can start to do as well is we can use theoretical concepts. If I use a rootless voicing, right, and I change the bass note, check it out. This creates a sus chord. Right now, if I'm playing my rootless voicing, my G minor 7 rootless voicing over a C in the bass. So I have B flat, D, F, A. This is my G minor 7 rootless voicing. If I play a G in the bass, I have a G minor 7 rootless voicing. If I put a C in the bass with the same exact notes in my right hand, boom, I create a sus chord. So guess what? If we change the bass notes, but we've already learned our rootless voicing, I can play sus chords up the wazoo however I want. Right? It's really that easy. And again, my point is everything stems from the rootless voicing. So I'm creating sus chords now. C sus, C7 flat 9, because I've altered the rootless voicing. I can easily find my C7 flat 9 chord because all I do is what? We just flatter 9. And then into my F major 7 sharp 11. How did I get this so fast? Regular rootless voicing, added the sharp 11 with my thumb. It's that easy, okay? Last thing, we can start to create tritone subs out of these. C minor 7, tritone sub with a rootless voicing. I'm not using any different voicing here. It's not a guessing game. All I'm doing is just going, instead of C, F, B flat, I'm going C, B, 7. B as in boy 7. I'm using a tritone sub. I don't want to get into the theory of this, but you can easily play these once you've learned your rootless voicings very easily. I can now change my B7 rootless voicing if I want, because guess what? We can do that, because what do we have to do? Just change the extensions in the voicing. So let's take our 13 on top, let's flat it, and let's flat our 9. So now we have a flat 9, flat 13 voicing. So C minor 7, B7, flat 9, flat 13, into the B flat major 7. Let's create a B sus voicing. C minor 7, I'm going to play an F sharp minor 7 rootless voicing over my B chord into my B flat. All I'm doing is playing a regular F sharp minor 7 rootless voicing, 3, 5, 7, 9, but I have a B in the bass, not an F sharp. That creates a sus chord. B flat major 7. Okay? Solo piano. Accompaniment. Right? If you want to play in a band, you can create all these amazing harmonies so fast out of your rootless voicings. Number 3, improv, especially for your left hand, right? No matter what you're doing, if you're playing solo piano improv or playing in a band improv. When I play solo piano improv, all my left hand voicings that I'm jumping to, 99% of the time, rootless voicing. 99% of the time. Okay? So, hopefully you understand the power of the rootless voicing. Now, here's where students get tripped up. They don't learn the rootless voicing well enough. They don't learn the rootless voicings well enough. So when they get to the points where they want to alter the extensions, they want to use them to comp or accompany other people, they want to use them in improv. When they go to play them, they still don't know them well enough, so they're hesitating. Right? They don't come out naturally. They don't come out free-flowing. To get to a point where you're spontaneously using them, right? So they're free-flowing out of you. You have to learn these better than you have ever learned anything ever. It has to be like the alphabet. It's got to be like the alphabet. It's got to be like counting to 10. That's how you don't think when you count to 10. You don't think when you say the alphabet, right? If you're thinking and guessing at the notes to play, you don't know them well enough. Okay, just use that as a general rule of thumb. If you're thinking and guessing when you see the chord on a lead sheet or page at what the rootless voicing is, you don't know them well enough. You just got to practice them more. Use flashcards, use drills, use the metronome, right? Just learn them so well that you literally don't have to think about using them. And I promise you, you will be in 100 times better jazz pianist than you have ever been before. Okay. Now, if you want lots of practice exercises around your rootless voicings and how to morph these, how to switch them, how to get all the theoretical concepts, obviously inside Jazz Piano School, we have all that to offer. So you can go to jazzpianoschool.com and sign up for the membership if you would like that. And you can get all of those documents. But again, please, 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 just learn your rootless voicings, right? If there's anything you do in jazz, just learn your rootless voicings. Like this was it opened up a world for me that I can never even begin to describe to you and iterate to you. You just got to do it yourself and see what happens. Take 2 months. I promise you. Just stop all the videos on YouTube. Stop all the Bill Evans stuff. Stop all the Herbie stuff. Stop all the cool licks, the cool voicings. Just take 2 months and say, okay, what if I listen to Brendan? What if I listen to him? I stop jumping around. I apply myself. I practice my rootless voicings for 10 minutes a day. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes for 2 months, right? I promise you, you will be an 1,000% better jazz pianist than you have ever been. Try it out. Try it out. Prove me wrong. I dare you. I dare you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys learned a lot. I'll talk to you soon. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all of our free, amazing education, all of the free podcasts, blogs. We do have a membership if you're looking to take a next step forward with us, get access to over 1,000 different jazz piano videos, playbooks, mini courses, a main course curriculum, success path, and so much more. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@jazzpianoschool.com. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, happy practicing.